I would suggest you buckle up and get your number 2 pencils sharpened, because our live showcase is our own Will Hanke with business approved. And every single time, I'm kind of setting you up here, Will, he comes up with some fantastic stuff, and I leave with a long list of things I can use. So business approved, new and exciting apps to make your life easier and make you more productive. You're up, Will.
Yeah, the pressure's on, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, let me move all this junk out of the way here. Can you see my presentation?
Sure can.
Okay. So I'm actually going to piggyback on my buddy Johnny's presentation and talk a little bit more about reviews, what people think about you. John gave us a great foundation of why you should do it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of how you should do it. Obviously, as you know, we live and die by these reviews. They're a big part of everything that we do and everything related to our business. All the way down to if you typed in SEO St. Louis and you had 3 results here, which one is the best option, right? I mean, even though it's my business, obviously, just the idea that this company has 50 5-star reviews, these guys have 0 and these guys have 7, you know, just from a social standpoint, it makes it a pretty obvious decision of who to call, right? So those reviews are obviously very important for everybody. I do want to make one kind of semantic caveat. John talked a lot about testimonials and reviews, and this is pretty small, but testimonials tend to be something you put on your website. And you post those in various formats. You know, here's one way that you could do that. You also put case studies on your website. Some people use case studies as downloadable pieces that you can put. Those things, case studies, testimonials, are review factors or trust factors, sorry. And you know, they're similar to the ones you see here. You know, satisfaction guaranteed, 30-day review or 30-day guarantee, that kind of stuff, right? Testimonials are fantastic trust factors for your website. The problem with testimonials is that Google doesn't trust them. And by that, I mean, they don't trust testimonials that are on your website. And the reason for that is because of those stupid web guys. You know, they can do anything they want. They can put anything on your website that they want, right? So so you can have anybody write you a review, put it on your site, and make yourself sound fantastic, right? And you can get your mom to do it, your cousins, all your friends, but eventually you're going to run out and you're going to need real reviews from real customers. And by the way, I do not have 50 friends, so those were customer reviews for sure. So what we need is trusted reviews, right? We need a way for people to trust the reviews, and for Google, quite honestly, to trust those reviews as well. One tool you can use, and we see this a lot in service-based industries, plumbers, painters, HVAC, things of that sort, is a app called Nearby Now. And this is pretty cool because you can actually put this on your website and it will pop up reviews where they were left on a map in your subdivision, things of that sort. So pretty cool. Obviously it works better, like I said, for like an HVAC company, where you can see that your neighbors are very happy with the reviews that were left for your company if you are thinking about hiring that same company. So pretty cool little tool there. That's called Nearby Now. Amber put this together. This is a little case study that we have that we built, and she did it all in Canva. I've mentioned Canva in the past, canva.com. And what she did is she actually went and found a resume and used that template to create the case study. Pretty smart. She's a pretty smart girl. So that's how she did it. By the way, these templates there's all kinds of templates available in Canva. Just because it says resume doesn't mean you have to use it as a resume, right? I'm also using Canva Pro, which I think I want to say it cost me $100 a year or something like that. But it gives you access to all their photos, all kinds of templates, all kinds of really cool stuff. And you'll even see on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth one over, E for E thumbnails. We actually use Canva to create all of our thumbnails for the YouTube channel as well. Lots of cool things you can do with Canva Pro, and especially for the price. Speaking of E4E's YouTube, I'll go ahead and toss a plug in here. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do that. And you can just go to e4ecommunity.com/YouTube. That'll put you right there. Click the subscribe button, and then you'll be notified every time there are new videos. All right, that's the end of my plug.
In service.
Yeah. Here's one of John's slides that he had earlier, right? He said, ask people how they found you. Les even had some of these ideas, what they do. But one of the things John said is best testimonials are short videos. And John said, I'm going to ask some of my clients to do those videos for me. Well, we've learned in the past at E4E, for example, when we had the physical meetings, after the meeting's over, if you would go over in the corner and let us shoot a quick video review, not many people did it, right? It's just not something people are actively wanting to do. So I found this fantastic app, and you guys are going to love this. It's called Video Ask, and here's what it does. You actually get a list of questions, such as the questions Les recommended earlier, and you just sit at your desk and you record each question. You hit start. What was your situation before you hired us? And hit stop. Then you make the next question. So you end up making each of these little videos individual, each question. Then what it does is it pitches, you send a link to a customer and they see this screen right here with the button, record your answer. And they click record your answer. And then they say, well, we were having a tough time, blah, 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 right? Then they hit stop. Then it pitches the next question. Then they record that answer. At the end of it, what you get is 7 different videos from that person answering each of those questions in that order. Here are some of the questions, or these are the 7 questions I asked, very similar to what Les said. Tell me your company name and location. So I started off with that. How'd you get involved with us? What was going on in your head that caused you to look for us in the first place? What was your business doing at the time? Once you hired us, what did we do? What was the result of the things that we did? And then last, the really good question, what would you say to somebody thinking about hiring us? And that question really that was the one, that's the golden one right there, right? Assuming they're happy with your service, of course, right? So I pitched this to one of my clients, Bobby, on Maui, on the island of Maui. And you can see down at the bottom, there's his 7 answers, all individual answers. And then I just stitched them together and I put them out everywhere, right? So I had this one video. So me pitching the questions to him is not in the video. It's simply him saying, man, we were in a tight spot. Then we hired these guys and now you should hire them too, basically. So you have this video that's, it's less than 2 minutes long, super easy to put up on Facebook, put on LinkedIn, put on YouTube, everywhere, and push people obviously to to that video. I also use these videos as some retargeting ads for my company. So if somebody comes to my website, then all of a sudden the next day they're going to see these testimonial reviews on Facebook and different places. Just kind of reinforces. Here's one of the ads that I was just talking about. On the fence, here's what one of our clients has to say. You can also ask at the time of delivery, This is a cool little thing. Just get a business card with a QR code that goes straight to your Google review page or something like that. At the end of install, delivery, handover of final product, whatever that happens to be, perfect time to give a card like this to somebody and ask them to just shoot it, open their camera, shoot it, it'll pop them straight to a review screen. By the way, people love talking about their phones. When somebody pulls open their phone, when one of your customers has it, just ask them, is that an Android or an iPhone? And they'll just start talking about how great their phone is. Pretty much everybody does that, right? So it's a super easy way to convert that relationship, or sorry, that conversation into, hey, would you mind leaving us a review on that cool fancy phone you got there? Really easy to do. One tip about Google, John mentioned how much they love the 5-star reviews. So in your Google My Business profile, so you go to google.com/business. If you haven't already claimed your profile, make sure you do that. Excuse me. Once you're in there, go over to the info tab, and then there's this thing down here that says add short name. When you click that, it lets you put in some sort of short name for your business, probably your brand name or something like that. And then obviously hit apply. And then it gives you a cool little link that goes straight to your Google My Business profile. So now you can share this nice short little link to get people to your profile, which has your map, has reviews, it has all kinds of other things. There's also a button there where you can actually get a link straight to leave us a review. So it goes straight to Google, how did you like Red Canoe Media page? And you can see these links are almost the same. Red Canoe Media !GM. The second one is Red Canoe Media /review !GM, which you can't see. But
Will, I know you can handle the interruption. We've got a comment from the audience, and a partner, Tom Ruich, would love to add a comment. I'm going to allow him to talk, and we're going to see if this works.
Okay.
I knew you could handle it, right, Will?
No problem at all.
All right. Tom, I just allowed you to talk. Let's see if it works.
Thanks, Josh. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can.
So I wasn't asking you to interrupt, Will. I was
That's good. I need some coffee
after everything was finished, but I'll be happy to add the comment. The video ask thing is a great recommendation, Will. And one thing that I wanted to add, both to your recommendations and John's recommendations, is think about the most common objections that you get in the selling process of your business. What did you hear from people, especially the people who bought prior to having them sell? And then prompt them with a question that allows them to answer the objection. An example might be a price objection. And so the prompt in video ask might be something like, yeah, when we were talking first about our service, you raised concerns that it was more expensive than you anticipated or outside your budget, but you did end up buying. Could you speak to how you feel now about the price and the investment? And what they'll say is something to the effect of, well, yeah, at first I thought it was expensive, but now it's worth every penny. Now I realize it's worth every penny, or whatever the other objections may be. Having customers through testimonials answer objections is really, really powerful. Your marketing needs to answer objections, but it's much more powerful when a customer speaks to those objections as opposed to you answering them, where it can sound a little bit defensive or self-serving.
Tom, that was great, and I'm glad we allowed the disruption. While that was going on, Will, you also got a question. Will has to wear many hats, as all entrepreneurs do, and the many hats that he's wearing is he's kind of moderating this. So I'm co-hosting, helping him a little bit, but he's moderating this, keeping track of his own time, and giving a presentation all in one. So, Will, the question from Shiva, and not to make single Shiva out as the star attendee with all the questions, because that would be anti what Les was saying of employee of the month or attendee of the meeting. But her question is, can you show or explain a little bit more how to stitch a video together?
Yeah, so I looked it up because I didn't remember, but I actually used this.
I saw you working back there behind that.
Yeah. I'm always doing something. This Clideo, CLIDEO.com. So Video Ask served all 7 videos to me individually. And then I used that service. I just uploaded all 7 videos, and you can drag and drop to make sure they're in the right order, hit a button, and it exports that as one MP4 file. And it was free.
All right, Will, how are you doing on time?
Okay, got a couple minutes here.
Okay.
Actually, the last thing here is a system that we use called Review System Pro. And it does a couple cool things, helps you obviously build your reviews up. And as you saw from my reviews, it's one of the great tools that I use. And it does a couple cool things. Obviously, it gives the person the 1 through 5 stars where they can, how happy were you with Red Canoe's service? This is a screenshot of the back end where you can actually add in multiple listings. So in this case, I'm using Google, Facebook, and Yellow Pages. So what happens is when they click the 5-star, of course, that's the only thing they would click is the 5-star. When they do so, it pops up a little window and says, great, where would you like to leave that review? Google, Facebook, or Yellow Pages? So I can change these, I can add these. So if I were a lawyer, I would add in Avo. If I were in the interior design industry, I would probably add House, Angie's List, things like that, right? So you can customize what pops up after you hit the 5 stars, which is pretty cool. The other thing that it does is it makes the reviews look more natural because they're not all being left on one platform, such as Google. They're not all being left in a row on that platform. They're being left across the web on trusted sites that Google still looks at other sites to pull those, culminate all those into one. And the other thing it does is it gives the reviewer the option to review on the platform that they're most comfortable with. So if somebody's not real comfortable leaving a review on Google, but they use Facebook all the time, they'll click on that Facebook link and it will just go straight to that option for them. So pretty cool little tool there. You can get your own free review score at reviews.redcanoemedia.com. Plug in your business name, your zip code there, and it will actually output a little PDF of how well or not well you are currently doing. So feel free to use that, absolutely free. All right, that's it. Do we have any more questions? And Josh, by the way, really appreciate you you co-hosting this and getting in the designator hitter box for me.
All good. Will and I were texting behind the scenes how to make the these things more interactive, because when you move to a Zoom environment, it lacks that face-to-face interactivity. So I think just in the last presentation, it was awesome to see enabling Tom to talk and different things like that. Turns it up a notch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's interesting because the one of the taglines for E4E is "Don't fly alone," and you didn't have to fly alone there.
Right. Very true. Tom does have a question, so we're going to, Josh, can you unmute him? Because I don't know how you did that, and I have way too many windows open right now.
Oh man, I just closed. You are killing me, Will. I got, I'm on it. Hold on one second. Glitches are okay. I gotta find my participants tab, get to Tom. Amazing retention today, guys. 31 people totally we started with, and we're still at 25 through an hour-and-a-half presentation. Very well done. I love to share the behind the scenes. Tom, I think you are good to go.
I am. Will, on that program where you can prompt them to send their 5-star review to Google or wherever, can you control when that prompt appears? In other words, can you have that prompt appear only if they do a 5-star review, or is it going to appear no matter how many stars they give you?
It is going to appear no matter how many stars they give you, but there is some control behind the scenes if you want to turn that on. We're talking kind of about the gating that
right.
Josh mentioned earlier. There is an option that if they leave a 1 or 2 star, that it still pops up a screen and says, "Sorry, we hear that about you. go ahead and leave us a review here. And then they fill that out and it dumps to your email instead of going out onto the web.
But they
Google's
could
not
put
a-
it, they could put it to Google if they wish.
They could, but yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult to do so.
Yeah, that's good. So it does not prevent, it does not allow gating, per Josh's point, but if you add a little bit of a prompt, you can encourage them to have the conversation directly with you, which is really a good tactic. If somebody is unhappy, you want to jump on it and try to communicate with them
Absolutely.
directly.